out part. Going to part four. My bad. Didn't
Yeah,
know you was fixing to start the love right there at that moment. But okay.
yeah, sorry about that. Hey guys, welcome back to part three of the series. So, the last point that I want to cover before I move on to what else we're going to talk about is they're practicing the another common sexual strategy that men practice commonly in the red pill community is practicing the dread game, which is intentionally instilling dread in a partner that you have other options. Basically saying like, look, I don't know about you, but I got other options, which is just like which is like a low blow next to talking down about her weight or using her insecurities against her. So, what do you have to say about that, Rosie?
Well, I mean, when you're with somebody, letting them know you have other options is not a bad thing if you're doing it in a healthy way. Because in a healthy relationship, letting somebody know that you like that, you have other suitors or other options, that kind of gives them a prompt to, hey, you know what, I better make this official, or I better lock this down, because it gives you that sense of you being valuable, right? That person being valuable, and that if you want to secure that person in your life, you need to do something. It prompts you. So in a healthy relationship, that's good. It's good to give your partner that prompt, because sometimes guys can be a little bit, indecisive. I mean, and that's just facts. I mean, they can. One minute they can be all into you, and the next minute they'll be like, I don't know. I just don't know. Because they get scared of their own emotions. Because it's not something they're taught to deal with or express. So whenever a woman brings up emotions in a man that he can't comprehend or don't know how to deal with, that's what he does. He shuts down, and then it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. This is the male's brain when he's been overloaded with too much. But in the way they're using it, though, it's very toxic. It's very manipulative. It's very deceptive, and it's very divisive because it's they're basically using these things to arm themselves to hurt women and to achieve a goal that they're trying to achieve, which in these cases is to bone a woman. Pardon my French, but I mean that's what it is. They're for sexual exploits.
Yeah, exactly. And so, another thing that I want to cover is like the red pills men's views on rape culture. And I'm gonna forewarn you guys, I will bring up Robert Fisher again because he did have some very strong views about it.
And these are some. This is the point where we bring up trigger warnings.
Oh yeah. So if
So
you
if you're triggered in any kind of way by anything like this, we do apologize,
mhm.
and we are empathetic towards your feelings and stuff. So we're allowing you time to step out if you don't want to hear about
Yeah, so first off, if you have ever been a victim of rape or sexual assault, we don't mean to like undermine it by any way. First of all, we do deeply apologize if you ever been through that. I can't imagine the type of pain that you guys feel. But I'm just bringing you
Well,
straight
not
up.
only rape. I mean, there's all kinds of forms of abuse. Sexual abuse. Like there can
Yeah.
be, there's child abuse. There's fondling. There's touching. There's more than just penetration. There's a lot of stuff that goes into there that can be viewed as sexual abuse also.
Yeah. So because Robert Fisher was accused of rape by one of his ex-girlfriends. If you want to know some background information on that, that's in part one. But because of that, in December of 2012, he admitted on his red pill form that he would videotape sexual encounters with women in order to protect himself against rape allegations. And that's like was another common theme that I found amongst many articles, which I thought like that is very creepy. That is just
Yeah, but
mm-mm.
did he do it with their permission or not? Because if he did it without their permission, I'm sure he can get in hot water for that also.
Well, according to the research, he said that he put according to research, he put up a sign saying if you enter this building, you consent to being recorded. So
Ah, so it's kind of a little bit like the R. Kelly stuff, making people sign NDAs. So he figured he could do whatever he wanted after they signed an NDA, even if they wasn't of age to sign an NDA and fully and didn't fully comprehend what an NDA was. Okay, I
yeah.
got you.
Well, I don't know if he did all that. I'm just going off of what the research told me. So yeah, that you
Well, that's
guys can.
another, that's another deceptive thing to do to somebody.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And then also, like, we're gonna jump back in time a little bit. So in 2008, when he wrote this point under his other alias, Fred Fredrickson, he posted that the notion that rape is bad was not an absolute truth. He wrote, "I'm going to say it. Rape isn't an absolute bad because the rapist, I think, probably likes it a lot." Oh my God, that mm-mm. It's making me shocked to read this. Yeah, I know. I think he said it's quite good, really. And after I read that, I was like, "Oh no, this guy is
I mean,
twisted."
the only thing that comes to my mind is who made him this way.
I have no idea.
I mean, it sounds like he had some kind of deep seated childhood trauma for him to be thinking that way about women and stuff. Because they're in no way, shape, or form is it good to rape somebody.
Yeah,
The only one that's having fun is the rapist. The person that it's being done to is not having any kind of enjoyment out of it. And in fact, it's damaging their psyche even more and splitting their psyche to the point where they're fractured. And it takes them years of therapy to get back to any kind of normalcy after something like that. I
yeah, it
mean, that's
is.
really a messed up thing to say. I mean, that's really messed up. And like again, like I said, with cancel culture, I don't understand why this man has not been canceled already.
Yeah,
I don't, I don't understand it.
me
With
too.
YouTube movement and everything else, how is this man still able to enjoy life, with comforts and everything else, with his views like that?
Yeah, exactly. Like
It's very
also,
public view.
yeah, and also considering the timing of it all when he stepped down during the height of the Me Too movement around 2017, I think that's when it was probably at its peak.
Yeah, and that's probably why he stepped down because he couldn't compete with those people.
Yeah, and
And then
I'm gonna
people would
read.
have demanded for him to step down anyway and pull down all his social media and everything else. I mean, for
Yeah,
for saying shit like that, I mean that's super hurtful. That's super insensitive. That's super unempathetic. Like what? Why? Who? Who are you?
yeah,
How
no.
could you?
This next thing I'm about to read is gonna it's gonna be very. It's gonna trigger. I know it's gonna trigger. It's heavy. So so Fisher said in an online post in 2012 that a 40-year-old man asking to see the breast of a 15-year-old wasn't creepy. Instead, he said it was evolutionary advantageous and perfectly natural. Yeah, I told you guys this was gonna be another heavy point.
So he's actively promoting pedophilia and saying that it's natural to fondle a child. That that am I getting that right?
Yeah, that's what it seems like it is. Like based off the research, yeah, he it seems like he's trying to like normalize this stuff and like and see this is why we wanted to make this series is just to shed some light on how toxifying this whole movement really
Yeah, and
is.
shed light on the sickness that was in the founder of this whole movement, where it comes from, the origin, and the right at the root.
Yeah. So also another thing that I'm going to cover is going to be even more heavy. So I tell you guys, we getting down and dirty with this to just really uproot this, so you guys know the truth. As painful as it is, it's to your ears right now.
Well,
I
there's
know that.
another question I wanted to ask you while you was at that. How did it feel, you being a man, saying things like that, even repeating this man's words and the things that he said? What did that make you feel like?
It made me feel. It made me just feel like sick to my stomach just reading that. That which is why I had the reactions that I did because it's
Horrifying.
yeah, it's horrifying. When I first read that, I was very shocked and horrified at the discoveries that I've made. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to show
Hmm.
you that, the truth isn't always glamorous. And, to know that I previously followed this movement in some of my high school going into my early college years, I was just like, I can't believe I followed this because it was damaging. But now that I know how damaging it really is, I said, okay, it is my duty to speak out about this. You
Yeah.
know, but it's like we have to put this out there so that people know to avoid these type of men and to educate men and young boys on what they're getting themselves into by adopting this philosophy.
Yeah, and if they ever hope to be in a happy, healthy relationship, they're never going to get it doing things like that, and they're never going to feel whole inside. They're always going to have that big empty hole they keep trying to fill up with all this external stuff that's being taught to them. Because nothing outside of you can ever fill that void within you. Only you can do that. Only you can give yourself that love. Only you can give yourself that intimacy first. Only you can give yourself a sense of worth and well being and a sense of purpose. You can give yourself all those things, but nobody else can do it for you. Nothing outside of you will ever give you any of those things. And that's facts.
Yes, that is true. That is very true because, you know, you can have like everything you've ever wanted and still feel empty.
Yeah. I mean, just look at all the rich people in Hollywood. They have everything they ever wanted and they're still living fucked up lives.
Yep.
And sorry, but I apologize to everybody, but I do swear. I mean, especially when I'm passionate about stuff. So if that bothers you too, I apologize.
Yeah. So this next thing is going to be very heavy as well, and it's going to be highly offensive because of the comments that was made about this particular situation.
It's
And
super controversial too, it sounds like.
yeah, it is. And I know this is like very heavy, dense energy right now in this
Is there
particular.
anybody in the chat room? I mean, in the live?
Nah, I haven't seen any comments so far. Nah.
Okay.
So basically, in this situation, back in 2013, there was a video that was leaked on the internet showing a former Steubenville high school athlete named Michael Nodianos relentlessly making fun of the rape of an unconscious student whose assault was shared on social media for over 12 minutes. And his comments was, quote, and this is gonna get real heavy. This is gonna be real heavy, guys. I'm warning y'all. She is so raped. Her puss is about as dry as the sun right now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's like taking joy in stealing something from somebody else. Like that's really disturbing on a level that's so deep that somebody would take
Yeah.
joy in something like that and not only take joy in it but also like make fun at the
Yeah.
same time. Like boast
Yeah.
about it. Like you're proud of it.
Yeah. And
Mm.
then also Fisher, good, Battle Fisher has something to say too. He said, quote, so a bunch of guys made rape jokes, lacking class for sure, not WTF nor newsworthy. Fisher reflected, does freedom of speech no longer apply in this scenario? Like, this is just like some next level twisted stuff right here, guys. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely some next level twisted stuff. I mean, who says stuff like that? Who in good conscience can sit around and say things like that and act like it's fine? And it's just a part of free speech. And free speech is fine and all unless it hurts other people. You know? I mean, you can disagree with free speech and everything else, but whenever you're using free speech to harm other people, then you go too far.
yeah, which is what they both did.
Yeah,
Both both Robert and Michael. Like they went way too far with their comments. And another thing is that Fisher's blase comments regarding rape are typical of the red pill community. So it's not only him that feels that way, it's also his members in the
as followers.
community. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So that's basically saying that, he promotes rape. Like if a woman, if all your tactics don't work, all your manipulating tactics don't work, and your abusive tactics don't work, well, just go ahead and take what you want because it's yours anyway, and she doesn't have any rights. That's exactly what that's saying. And I mean,
yeah,
really, young men need to think about that for a minute. How would you feel if that was your mother? How would you feel if that was your sister? How would you feel if that was your aunt? How would you feel that if that was your girl or your child? I mean, these are questions you need to ask yourself. Is this really what you want to be out here doing? Out here in the streets doing things like this? I mean, what are you gaining?
yeah, yeah. Like exactly. Like like are you doing all of this all because some girl hurt your feelings? That's
Exactly.
the crazy part that gets me is that they allow one thing or one word that a girl said to them to get them all riled up to the point where they just go completely to the dark side and become like either a sociopath or a psychopath and start taking all their anger and rage out on the opposite sex. And
Yeah.
so, another point that I want to cover, and then we're going to get off here in a little bit, is that like posters in the community regularly argue that men are often the true victims by way of what they refer to as the feminist fueled lie of rape culture, a lie that amounts, some users say, to a vicious attack on white men in particular, though Fisher never officially made that claim himself.
What?
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, yeah, there are some women who do lie about it to mess up a man's reputation and all that stuff. And yeah, I will agree to that. But probably about 98% of the time, it's not lies.
Yeah,
It's facts. It happened, and it's wrong. You don't just go take what doesn't belong to you. You don't steal somebody else's innocence and steal something from somebody else that they can't never get back and hurt them in that kind of way.
exactly. So, yeah, we're at 21 minutes right now. But one last thing I'm going to cover, and then we're going to wrap it up after this, is like in the past, Fisher insisted that the red pill forum is misunderstood. Unfortunately, to the outsider, it looks just like misogyny, which it is. It's very evident
Yeah,
from everything I've read to you guys. You guys can pick up off of just the information that we've given you just off this video alone. He wrote in 2012, or like we're just bitter. You are. Y'all are.
yeah,
Let's just call it for what it is, y'all. A bunch of bitter little boys who just who are just hurt and carrying all this trauma and all this pain, and you allowed it to turn y'all into monsters, to little monsters that are putting the pain on women who do not deserve it.
yeah. It's just sad, man. I mean, honestly, that's how I feel about it. It's just sad. I mean, these people need help. Seriously, they need to go seek counseling or therapy or something. I mean, that's what I'm gonna leave it with.
Yeah. So you guys can take the information and just marinate on it and really think about this. Hopefully, this will help wake a lot of men up to their own habits, to their own self-destructive habits that they may seem to have. So hopefully, if you're a man that's in the red pill community, I hope um, this video that we made for y'all is gives y'all a huge wake up call to help you change your ways and to get the help that you need. You know, hell, Rosie is a life coach herself. So if you need a real good life coach that's gonna put you on the right track and call you out on your bullshit, she'll be the one. She's the one,
Yeah.
man. If you're ready to take that first step.
Yep. I'm available. Taking clients. You can contact me on any of my social media platforms and let me know. And it's very discreet and private. I don't talk about people's personal experiences with the public unless they give me um permission to. It's confidential between me and my client.
Yep. And so we're gonna leave you guys with that. Peace in and out with the highest vibes, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
And share, share, share.
Yes, please share all the videos.